From the garage that sparked a global self-care movement, welcome to the Human Garage Experience, a podcast where we have unfiltered conversations on self-healing, consciousness, and different ways of optimizing your life with fascinating individuals changing the status quo and also the world out there. I'm your host, Aisha Rodrigue, and I'm honored to have you here. So today we're going to be talking to Rachel Pringle, and it's going to be a super juicy, incredible conversation that you do not want to miss. If you have been feeling numb and you want to learn about rituals, self-love, rage love, and having responsible sensuality also, and good, deep relationships, stay tuned, watch the whole podcast, and wait for part 2.
Hi, I am Rachel Pringle. I am an embodied intimacy teacher, and please join us for an amazing conversation around self-love, rage love, activations, sensuality, learning how to reconnect to our inner divinity, and how do we transform our relationships. Juicy.
I chose an oil for our session that I feel fitting. It's called Sensuality.
Oh, yes.
So after reading what your book is about,
yes.
if you want to.
Yes, please.
We always like to sync up
Oh my God,
with
can
a
I put a
smell.
little-
Oh, please, it's for that.
Yeah.
Sensuality.
That smells delicious.
And it's like a wizard of the oils that make them for us.
Is it the guy who I think it is?
Nick.
Oh, yeah. this
Dr.
guy.
Nick.
Yeah, he's...
We love his oils.
He's amazing. I'm like, yeah, that's perfect.
Well, thank you for being here with us.
My
I'm so
pleasure.
excited.
Me too.
I love talking about this type of topics and have more female voices out there.
Thank you. It's such an honor.
For the audience that maybe in our community, they don't know you yet, can you tell us a little bit about you, your journey, what you do?
Oh my goodness. Well, my name is Rachel Pringle, and I guess I would say that I'm an embodied intimacy teacher or tantric embodiment, and I really am teaching my journey. So I found at a really young age that I came into my sexuality and my sensuality, and I had no idea what to do with it. And so I caused a little bit of a ruckus or some destruction, and then I shut it down, really indicating to myself that this part of me was bad and wrong. And I found that most, I wouldn't even say just females, but most people found that similar story. And so when I realized that, I made it it made me its mission to find that connection back to our body, to our sensual and sexual nature in a way that is responsible. My tagline is becoming responsibly wild. So using our primal life force energy to create permission and liberation for all humans.
Okay, say more on that.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot there. So say more.
I think the best way to describe it is, when you go out to a party and you experience a person that is, let's say, irresponsibly connected to their sexual energy, and it can feel really invasive. It doesn't feel good, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. As soon as I say that, people are like, yes. And that is using our energy as a form of transaction. So it's using that to get something, whether it's protection or money or security or love or connection. So we're operating from this transactional way of being. It's not actually supportive for the person who's giving it either, because they're always, you need to almost sell yourself to get something. And the opposite is when you go to a party and you see a person who's so embodied and so connected to themselves that when you experience them, it makes you want to be more connected to yourself. So that's really what I do, is creating that inner connection. I believe it's our connection to our divinity, the beloved within, coming home to ourselves, the meeting point of our spirit and our physical body.
Yeah. And what is the difference for somebody that is completely new to the topic between sensuality and I can pronounce it now. Sexuality. They sound the same when I say that. Sexuality and sensuality.
Yeah, I often say that I don't wouldn't consider myself a sexuality teacher. I consider myself a sensuality teacher because sensuality is about all of the senses. And so it's bringing our entire body and being alive. So not just focusing on our genital region, which I have no problem with that, it's amazing, but bringing the rest of our body and being online. And sensuality to me is such a direct pathway to liberation and to pleasure, not just pleasure again from our genitals, but pleasure from just pure joy of being alive. Life. Sensuality is, like smelling an incredible rose or watching a stunning sunset or standing out in the rain or climbing atop of a mountain or eating an incredible meal. It's the juice of life. Yeah.
And what brought you, like in your own journey, what was that like peak point that it brought you to choosing this? Because out of all of the embodiment modalities or somatic modalities, you chose this one in particular. What brings you there?
It was really, my husband was such a huge part of it, which I'm so grateful for. He really encouraged me to explore the part of me that was like more shut down. He was like, I know that there's more in you and I want it, which was different than anything I'd experienced before. I'd always been with people who were afraid of my power or intimidated by it. And he was like, more, I want more. Where's your fire? And I would say that the piece that was really pivotal for me was getting connected to my anger and my rage, because those are intrinsically connected, right? So he was not afraid of that part of me. He encouraged me to explore that. And once I started to create safe, sacred spaces for me to explore that part of me, I felt so much aliveness. It's incredibly enlivening to feel all of our emotional range. And so it wasn't just about sexuality, it was about all my senses were alive. And then to be welcomed by him and also by my community, like, yes, more. Oh my God, you're so, and can you show me? Like, I want to come. I want to do this with you. So it just really found me. I've always had a deep desire to empower people. I've always been in that role from like a young age. Like when I played soccer for 9 years, I was like the cheerleader of the group. I was like, I'm like, someone's, doing a free kick or like a penalty kick, I would go up and be like, you can do this. And so it just translated that piece and then the exploration of like the darker feminine aspects. I found it and I was like, oh, this is what I'm made to do.
That is an interesting transition, going from like playing, like soccer, like this sport, jumping into something
totally different.
So like soft and embodied and the senses. Well, not soft in a way,
exactly.
Depending where you come from.
Yeah.
Like how it got there. Because now you're also bringing up the topic of rage. Can you dive deeper? Because I think for a lot of people, they think exactly kind of like where I was going, that sensuality, it's only soft, juicy, oh, this feels great.
Yeah.
And that's all like the power that you have to tap into.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more on the other side?
Yeah, I think that we're just deeply programmed and conditioned to not express or explore this part of us. If we, especially, I would say for across the board, no matter your gender, but I'll say specifically for women, if we're in touch with that, we're crazy, a crazy bitch, she's out of control and all of those things. And when you express anger and rage irresponsibly, it is those things. And that's definitely not what I invite or recommend. I think we've all experienced in our younger, whether it's through a parent or an authority figure or an experience where anger or rage has been expressed irresponsibly, it's terrifying. It's scary. And you make a choice that I never want to do that. I never want to be that person. And then we cut ourselves off from that primal raw energy. And so when we meet that in a safe and sacred, responsible way, we actually realize that it's our life force, it's our power. It's like plugging ourselves back into the charger, so it's reconnecting. I would say a lot of us at some point move into the heart space and the head space even.
Yeah.
We're like up here, some of us are up here, but we're not connecting that raw anger or anything. And when we express it safely, we notice that actually it's freeing me up. Like all of our energy is unlocked. And it's also connecting us to our intuition and our wisdom, like our womb space and all of this deeper energy. All of our emotions sit right here. And when we're cut off, and then the floodgates start to open, it also gives us permission to feel and cry. It usually gives us the push to like release and scream and cry and feel. And then after we feel, we're reconnected.
And how will expressing rage with responsibility look like for somebody? Or like how can somebody that is listening create that container in a way? Because like I come from a culture and a world that you gotta be the good girl.
Yeah, exactly.
No?
Yes.
And obviously, the Latina stereotype of like, oh, the craziness is gonna come out. So you always like tame that part, and like they always teach you how to control it.
Yes.
And that is the responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
No, like that, putting it in a leash, keeping it short and like well behaved.
Yes.
So what will be a healthy expression of that, or a responsible expression? And what are some like tips to create that? Before even the container, like allowing yourself the idea that is okay.
Yeah. I think so many of us can relate to the good girl thing. It's like it's an epidemic everywhere, and all of us have that piece. And I do actually think it starts with a container. It's setting up a space where you're undisturbed, where you feel safe, and creating that container to even let yourself go there. And I think even just hearing this conversation, most people immediately like, oh, I feel that. Yeah, I have to be this way in order to get something.
Yeah.
Security, love, connection, and we're focused on getting it outside of us versus we can get those things inside of us. We can get connection, we can get love, we can get security, we can get protection, we can get, arousal. All of those things exist. So it's shifting the energy to go inwards again. And so just hearing this conversation is giving permission. You are worthy of having that experience. And then I think it's really simple. I like to use 3 things always: your body, your breath, your voice. These are the keys. This is our own healing tuning fork and modality. Create a space that is safe. You won't be disturbed. Lock the door, whatever that is for you, or go on top of a mountaintop or into the forest. And, music helps. I love music. It's such a powerful modality. And then say the thing that you've never been able to say, that you wanted to say. I think that anger and rage really are a moment where you abandoned yourself, you rejected yourself, you criticized yourself, or someone did that to you and you didn't get a chance to say the thing, right, that you wanted to say. Boundary has been crossed. And so to reclaim our voice and our body and our space is to say the thing, right? Like giving ourselves permission to say no, right? So just a simple practice of going somewhere, playing loud music, or going to a mountaintop and just say no over and over again until your whole body feels that you've reclaimed your space. That's huge, powerful. You can also, you have something, go.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Because, our community is mainly women.
Yeah.
And in the last couple of years, we talked to thousands of them. And a thing that I get asked a lot, or that I see a lot in the community, is they know what their problem is, like where the boundary was crossed, they didn't say no, this. They know all of the embodiment practices. They have, they have attended workshops and done this and read that speaker and this.
Yeah.
But there's like a bridge.
Yes.
No, that you still have to cross. And it's like, I know the solution. I see it there. I don't know how to activate that in me.
Yeah.
No, or like, but I don't feel angry. And you're like, okay.
Yes.
So if somebody's in that moment, like in between, what is something like that could activate the rage in a way, or the emotion to come up, to be expressed for them?
I would say there are two things that I always use that can like strum up that energy. One is the ha breath, which is simple. You bring your hands up. Ha.
Oh, yeah.
Ha. And that just gives the energy. Or a fast breath, you know, my husband and I teach a breath work modality called pyramid breath. You can do the fast breath and you know, or pillow beating. So if you get a giant pillow enough that you have cushioning, and you bring your hands up and you beat it down and you say no at the same time, something is gonna come out. And to speak to that, because I think it's really important, I am such a firm believer, massive advocate in having a daily practice. Like that is to me the number one thing. If I could wish for anything in the world, it would be that everyone adopt a daily practice. And that is fun, and that is permissive, and that feels liberating, that they want to come back to. Because that helps train you into giving yourself permission to express, right? Because like, you know, we need training to get into it, because we're so programmed, like you said, like I feel the same way, you know. I remember going into my first acting class and my teacher was like, you know, get into some anger. And I was like, I'm not angry. And she was like, sure you aren't. You know, and it was true. I was totally cut off from that. Most of us are. So it took time of coming back, and I think really making it known that it's safe for us to feel everything that we feel, that our emotions are actually teachers, and they're so incredibly important for us to feel, because then we can move with them versus against them, right? Most of us are trying to block our emotion. That takes a lot of energy. It's exhausting. That's why a lot of us are depressed, or, you know, feel stagnant in our lives, because we're ignoring the signals that are there.
Yeah, and there's so many.
Thank you so much for watching this episode with us today. I'm so glad that you're part of this movement, but also about this learning experience. One great thing that you can do to now incorporate and embody all of these learnings is start doing some fascial maneuvers to allow all of this information to move into your body. So if you're not there yet, run and get into the 28-day live reset, and we will see you there.
When you start doing these practices, or like a daily ritual, the most simple version of it for somebody that is not used to use their voice, or that they feel uncomfortable with their own sounds. Because like now that we're talking about pleasure also, no, how many women don't feel comfortable making noise?
Absolutely.
During or when they're eating. No, like
Yes.
just the sound of it could be like, did that just happen? Like on the table. So to like express sounds, for a lot of people, it's very uncomfortable. What will be like a simple little ritual that you can start incorporating like all of these tips?
Yeah, I mean, I so deeply resonate. And when my husband and I first got together, like I was so shut down. I couldn't make a sound. And if you have dinner with us, it's like a symphony of, oh my God, this is so, and it actually is good for your digestion. It's signaling to your body that this is good. I think that the most important thing to remember is that there's always going to be a journey. You know, I say this to all of my girls, because they view me, they meet me, or we do a retreat, or we're working together, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so expressed, you're so embodied. I'm like, now. But I was numb, shut down, had no voice, you know, you name it, I felt it. It was totally disconnected from my sexuality. It's been a journey. And I think the most important thing is to enjoy the journey. I don't want to be anywhere other than where I'm at right now. I'm not trying to get anywhere, because it's unconditional what we can experience. And so enjoy the process, and know that, investigate why you feel like you can't express, because it's likely not coming from you. It's coming from something you heard from some other person and that you agreed upon. So another thing I would say is like, question where your thoughts come from. Are they yours? Who did this come from? Where did it come from? Do I feel this way now? And then start slow and start small. A great place to start is with eating.
Mm-hmm.
Sound what you feel in the moment. If you eat like, an incredible, burrata with fresh tomatoes and pesto, it's orgasmic. So signal and know that you signaling that is healthy. It's the best thing you can do for your body, best thing you can do for your digestion and your mental capacity. And then another thing for the anger, I would say, is a great practice that I love is start small and build. So if it starts as no, 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 and you build and build until all the way up. And don't try to win.
Yeah. Don't be the overachiever.
Yeah, don't be we're like,
And
let's get
anger.
away from that. All of us, it's like, we're not in school anymore. Or I should say we're in a different type of school. We're in earth school, and it's the school of experience. And so just give yourself the permission, but know that there is something to overcome. That, like in anything that we're doing, there's going to be a place where you were and a place where you want to get to. And in between, it's our willingness to be uncomfortable, to maybe look a little silly or stupid. I come from an acting background, so it's good for me to, if I'm uncomfortable, it knows that I'm pushing an edge, and I've chosen to believe that that's a good thing now versus a bad thing.
And how will the nervous system play a role in all of this? Like somebody that is in survival mode all the time, or so stressed and so conditioned, and also all of the things that we have done to our bodies nowadays, no?
Yes.
Because you see I have friends, no, that sometimes their faces don't even move anymore. No, and we want to wear like the push-up bra that puts your boobs here, and then the jeans that make your butt look here. Like, but that's what we have been programmed, and in a way we accepted it because, at least for me, when I accepted that, I remember was from the disconnection from my body, from not feeling enough at this, sexy enough, this enough, da-da-da, and like all of that, that it was a constant battle.
Yes.
And so self-destructed to myself, like the inner talk, that going back in time, if somebody were to tell me, oh, like create a safe container, I would be like, how do you eat that? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I understand, like, if you have never experienced safety in your body, or like that loving relationship between you and you and you and you and all of your parts, how do you spot that you are safe? Like, how do you say, this is how safety feels like, without, let's say, a partner or somebody that gives you a certain reflection of, I feel safe here. How do you find that? Or like if you have a metal detector, and it's like ding, 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 that's safety within just you.
I think that all of us know what that feels like. It's just about giving ourselves permission to actually ask what we need, right? And the simplest practice, which is a practice that I did for so long and changed my life, because I came from a modeling background, and my inner dialogue and my relationship to my body was trash, and I was in total, it was horrible. And also, I'm grateful. It taught me so much. It taught me that you can use your mind to enslave you, or you can use your mind to serve you, and it's your choice. And so asking the question really deeply, and again, always about a container. Go to a space where you feel some sense of calm, whether it's a room and you lock the door and there's certain lighting and there's certain music and you're wearing particular clothing that makes you feel like there's a reason why we're attracted to certain things. Like I've had a pillow in the past. It's like a fur pillow. When I'm having hard conversations, I rub that pillow. These are the things, right? So we like teddy bears as a kid. I loved soft things as a kid. It's for a reason. Find those things, give it to yourself, and then ask inside, like, what do you want to feel right now? Maybe she's like, hold me. And maybe it just looks like holding yourself. Even the element of just stroking your own cheek and just holding, when I'm in ceremony with myself, I'll just sit for hours and say, and it makes me emotional just doing it. And I'll just hold my own face and be like, oh God, I love you. And then the deeper invitation is adopt a self-love practice. It's so simple. Every time I give this to clients, they're like, it can't be this simple. It is. It is take time every day to hold yourself physically and to touch all of your body parts and to, I love my mind. I love my eyes. I love my face and my ears and my neck, and go through, because that's going to teach you how to calm, how you can calm your nervous system. So you're not dictated by what's happening around you, but you can be your own safety. And doing that, I mean, I did that for an hour for 8 months straight. And it radically changed my life, radically changed my life, and led me into what I'm doing now. It was that practice. From that, my channel opened. I could hear my intuition again, because I was reconnecting to this relationship versus any outside relationship. And it's been proven. I mean, you guys know this, like just the physical touch of the softness, doing this, it changes everything. And give yourself that gift. We're worthy of that. And then the safety starts to be imprinted. So I can create this. So you're not searching for it outside of yourself.
Yeah, and it comes so natural when we want to do it for another person. No, it's
exactly.
It's just weird, or initially it could feel weird when you try to do it to yourself. But naturally, you see a little kid do it. You see every person has that like innate caring and kind and loving, especially when they don't know you're watching.
Yeah, of course.
It's so natural. And when we want to turn it inside, it's like, it can feel weird at the beginning. So that's a great practice.
It can feel also like selfish. And we're really taught, programmed into not being selfish. But if we can realize that giving ourselves deep, profound love is giving the world love, because your frequency affects everything. So if you are charged up, then you're affecting every room, every person, every being that you interact with. So if we can see and realize that it's a service to all, it helps us, because a lot of us, I mean, mothers are like, we're like, no, I can't. I couldn't possibly take 10 minutes out just loving myself. I need to do X, Y, and Z. And if we can reprogram that this act of love is actually a service for all, I think it's very helpful.
Especially, like you said, for mothers and kids.
Yeah.
I went through that journey, and it took me probably like 2 years to reprogram the guilt around taking time and saying like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't want to see my kid right now.
Normal.
No, because in like my mom and like other women will be like, what do you mean? Like, it's your duty. It's your kid. And you're like, yeah, but I'm also human.
Yeah.
And I need to pour on my own cup. So it is like definitely a very deep want and need, or even a scream.
Yeah, it's a scream.
Internal scream.
Absolutely.
For a lot of us, like when you go from one stage to the other. And now that you were talking about your partner also.
Yes.
Like when you start doing this, and how will you say change the type of relationship that you will cultivate, or that you will, I don't even want to say attract, because it feels like it's like a magnetized.
Yeah, totally.
And how you co-create that. Because it's not the same being with a fully embodied woman.
Indeed.
It's very different.
It's a very different ballgame, yes. Yeah, I think that you are definitely magnetizing a different type of partner. Someone who is not intimidated by that power or that light or that level of impact. And it was incredibly freeing. I'm grateful. My husband is he loves to see me succeed. And it is the way that he has been with me has helped me heal, again, all of this programming and conditioning that I shouldn't be too powerful, too much. And that is, again, just conditioning or programming. I believe that someone who wants that level of power and acceptance and love and radiance in themselves needs a mirror to show you what's possible. So it's attracting a different type of being into your life.
Yeah, and they always say that if you really want to see your growth, be in a relationship. Like
Absolutely.
to really put yourself out there and like be tested.
Yes.
How long have the two of you been together?
12 and a half years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you work together
We do.
also.
We do. Yeah.
What has been the journey to that?
You know, we are so lucky that we work so well together. Of course, there are always challenges, and we have always chosen to see challenges as opportunities. We know that if there is, you know, the way we describe a relationship is like you get together and you're like two rocks and you're kind of moving against all the edges, and it's like, but eventually it becomes these smooth rocks and you find your flow. But there's always a moment where, however long, like we've been deep in the work for years and we've gone through many ups and downs and massive ruptures. And I believe it teaches you how to repair the same way that we need to learn how to repair with ourselves. You know, we can be so hard on ourselves if we make a mistake, but we learn through mistakes. And so how do we build resiliency or resolve or repair our connection to self or partnership is through learning through when we do something that isn't in alignment or doesn't feel true to ourselves. And we are both committed to growth. And so we've learned and continue to learn so much, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So we're so different from who we were, obviously the same essence, but it's been a joy to mess up and fall on our faces and, you know, crash into each other and then be there to hold ourselves and hold each other as we pick ourselves back up and go to new heights, and, you know, not feeling like there's anything wrong with not knowing or making mistakes or having contractions. It's a necessary part of life.
Yeah. And how do you invite these conversations, like contractions or when you clash or something? How do you have a ritual also as a couple, like how to invite these conversations and how to have them?
Yes, and more yes. We deeply believe in ritual. We're like in ritual all the time. And one thing that I would say the two most pivotal things for us is we share a daily practice. So that from our first date, we came together, we practiced together. That was huge. And so you're creating like intimacy right from the beginning. So you're not afraid to touch these places. And so having that daily practice where we move, where we scream, where we make weird noises, where we may cry or laugh or feel orgasmic, it really works out energetically things that you might not even have words for. So that's huge, of like a somatic practice daily that is fun, that is playful. You know, sometimes we're in practice and we find ourselves cracking up. We're like, oh, this is so freeing. And then the second thing is communication. Like we teach something called co-devotional relating. Okay. And we are so passionate about giving people the tools of how to communicate, how to say things without shame, blame, guilt, or projection, so that you can create the safe container to say everything that you're feeling in a way that invites deeper inquiry and more connection.
Hello, everybody. I'm sure you're enjoying this podcast so much and learning so many things about our guest today. Let's take a moment to just ground that energy and drop into your body and take a couple of deep breaths together. Let's do 3 in through the nose, out through the mouth. In and out. In and out. Now in through your mouth, breathe in and out. In and out. One more, in and out. Now with that new feeling and lots of space in your mind, go back, tune into the podcast, and I see you in the next break.
what are some examples of those?
So it's basically an amalgamation of many different teachings of people that we love and deeply respect, like Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. There's Imago technique, there's nonviolent communication, there's parts theory, there's NLP. So I'll give you a little lay of the land. We're always talking from our perspective. So from my perspective, this and this, that's huge. Brene Brown, the story that I'm making up, huge. I mean, for me, like the amount of stories that I can make up in here is crazy. And when I can own, this is from Gay Hendricks, I take 100% responsibility and own that I'm making up a story that X, Y, and Z. When you use these terms, they immediately calm the nervous system, not only the other person's, but your own. Because you're like, oh, this is just a part of me that's having this experience. And we know that you can be happy and sad at the same time. And when we say, I am so angry at you, it's like your whole body's like, I'm so angry at you. And they're like, oh my God, that's not actually true. I'm witnessing a part of me that's really angry. The story that I'm making up is when you walked out and slammed the door that, you don't love me, or you're annoyed at me and you're hiding something from me, and it makes me feel like I did with my dad or my ex-partner and it gives people an insight into what's happening in your own inner world. And when you hear that from your partner, it makes you want to go towards them versus run away from them, Yeah. And so it's a tool or a framework that creates more connection. So you can say like, wow, I'm making up the story that when you were talking to that woman, like you were really attracted to her, and it brought up this part of me that feels like, maybe I'm not as attractive anymore. And you just get to say the thing versus like, I saw you talking to that woman and I know what you were thinking, It's a totally different experience. That's on guard, it's attack. And the person is like, wait, what? And then your opponents versus teammates. And like, we always say that this life is such a wild experience. Like, let's be in it together versus opposite each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for somebody that is just starting.
Yeah.
And they have a full life agenda, normal work, kids, the whole thing. That maybe they have 5 minutes with their significant other in the morning, and maybe they see them, for dinner and then get ready to go to bed. What can they do to start bringing that together again?
Yes.
In such a little time.
Absolutely. I would say in the morning, 5 minutes of breath work. That's our daily practice. We've been doing it for 12 and a half years. It is so quick, powerful, profound. It reconnects you to what is important. It disassociates you from the story and connects you to the truth. So 5 minutes, especially with pyramid breath, which is what my husband teaches and I teach, it's fun, it's wild, it's playful, it's silly. You want to do it. It's not aggressive or intense. You can do it based off of how you feel. So to have that connection, 5 minutes, reset, open your eyes, lock eyes, and then have a moment of appreciation. We believe like in appreciation and gratitude, hands down, all day. We are seeing each other and then reflecting what the other person is doing. Like, perfect example. Thank you for making the kids lunch. Thank you for taking the kids to school. Thank you for making dinner tonight. So, whatever it is, being seen for what we are already doing is massive for connection. Because it makes us feel received, heard, loved, seen, whatever it is. Appreciation, gratitude on gratitude on gratitude. It's so simple, like the self-love. It is so profound when, I do the dish. My husband does the dishes and I make dinner pretty much always. He always says, thank you so much for dinner, baby. That was amazing. It's so good. And I'm like, thank you so much for doing the dishes, baby. I love you. So simple. And then we come together and then there's the connection, then there's the kiss and the cuddle. And then in bed, take a few minutes to be intimate. That doesn't have to mean sexually. It means hold each other, whether it's like a 5 minutes of just being held by one another, and then and also doing gratitude, say 5 things that you're grateful about in the other person, include something about their characters, about their physicality, and about their mind. It's like just really beating that drum. I always say, like, beat the drum of the song you want to hear, because that's what's going to be played, right? So if you hit that drum over and over again of like 5 minutes of breath work, little text, hey baby, I'm so grateful for you for taking the kids to school. You're the best mom ever. Or you're such a great dad. They're like, ding, ding, ding. And then they come home, they're like, I just want to hug you and show you how much I appreciate you. Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and that over 12 years, you get to see so many layers and
magic
things of the same person, that it's like a way to keep falling in love.
Yeah.
Every day by choice.
Absolutely. Yeah, by choice. Yeah.
Cultivating actively, doing that. Wow, I like that. We're gonna put it to the test to see.
It works. It works, baby. It works. Yes.
We try to be like very present in everything, especially, working with so many people. Like, you're out with other people all the time. Mm-hmm. And then it's like coming back and being like, okay, where are we? Yeah. Where is this? And like staying very present, I feel it's also very, very important. What is the greatest lesson that being in a relationship has taught you?
Oh my God. I mean, makes me emotional. It's been the greatest journey of my life to experience my power. Being in a relationship with my husband has taught me how to be in my voice. And it was through massive hardship, but it led me to expressing myself fully. And that's literally been the greatest gift ever. Greatest learning that my voice matters, my feelings matter, my boundaries matter. What I think, what I feel matters, and also what everyone else thinks and feels matters. That to get really curious about what's happening in someone's inner world. When you are curious and you actually take the time to get to know what someone is feeling and thinking, it brings such a massive level of compassion. It opens your heart every single time, right? So that's like you said, you're practicing opening your heart over and over again. You get to meet new versions of yourself over and over again, and of each other. And then the love just naturally grows.
What have made you, or how have you chose to stay in the hard times?
I think that listening to my intuition, which has been a long journey, it got cultivated really strongly with the self-love practice. And when we went through massive hardship, I remember very specifically, I was like laying in his arms and I was so mad at him. I was so mad. And at the same time, I felt like I was home. It was a very interesting feeling. And it was like my intuition was like, just go deeper. And I kept on having this voice, that was like, trust and all will be revealed, keep on. And I believe in talking to ourselves. Like, I'm talking to myself all the time. And so in moments where it gets hard in any aspect of my life, my mantra is, can I trust deeper than I've ever trusted before? And I have seen in too many experiences with too many people what it looks like to leave when it gets hard, and what it looks like to go deeper or to lean in. And there was a study that I just read that couples who are in long-term relationships, they will all tell you that they went through massive hardship and they chose to stay. And that those moments are what really opened them to a deeper version of themselves and each other. And that's absolutely what happened to us.
Yeah, the collateral beauty.
Exactly. Exactly. I love that.
I like that. And you also have a book.
I do.
That it's like poetry?
It's sacred erotica poetry.
Okay.
Yes.
Say more.
And actually I have a new book coming out. This is a book I wrote, this is 7 years ago, and I wrote it during our biggest rupture, and it was a beautiful outlet for my own healing. And so it's like if 50 Shades of Grey and Rumi had a baby. That's what I always describe it. It's very sexy, very beautiful, and laden with consciousness and spirituality. It's great for reading before bed, reading to each other, reading in the bath. It's great for all moments. And then I also have a new book coming out in probably a month or two. That's a poetry and ritual book for women called The Book of Her. And it's like an elevated journal. So there are journal spells and invocations, but there's a lot of ritual work. So a lot of the stuff that talked about today, and a lot of beautiful poetry to connect us within.
I think all of the Human Garage senoritas here,
Yes.
we're going to start a book club.
Yes. It's a great
Sexual
idea.
erotic.
Yes.
We're going to read it to each other.
Yes.
And let you know how it
Please.
went and all of the new rituals we
Yes.
have. We definitely need that. It's always
We
so
all
much
need
fun.
it. We all need it.
I remember reading 50 Shades of Grey. I was traveling with the book
Everywhere.
Like
Exactly.
I couldn't put it down at that time. So I'm excited to
I'm having
read
my
yours.
romantasy moment right now for the first time in my life, and it's incredible. It's amazing. It's like I think as women especially, we love reading. It's because it evokes our imagination. We're like, our imagination is huge, so we get to make the scene in our heads.
Wonderful. And for somebody that, watch this, fall in love with you, and they're like, okay, but what do they do with you? Is it coaching? Is it practice? Is it virtual? Is it what is the...
Well, I have 3 online instant access courses. So these are a great place if you want to dive into deep ritual work, which is one of my favorite spaces: wild rituals, wild erotic, and wild worship. So it's all the different flavors. And of course, my husband has a breathwork membership, and there's like 400 videos. So that's for men and women. Any person can enjoy it. And then retreats. I have one-on-one coaching, but it's a small amount. I'm stacked. So I would say retreats is a great place to come be in person. Of course, Mind Valley is a great place too. Of course, I have a quest there, and Mind Valley University, A-Fest, I'm always there. So.
And who will you say is the person that comes looking for your job? Like for your work, what you do?
I would say that I attract women who want more and know that they deserve more, and feel like, okay, something is missing. I want to feel more free, more wild, more connected to my sensuality. Or women who have felt like they're dropped more into their yang and want to experience more of their yin or more of their feminine. And then couples who see us and want more tools. I believe in tools. I'm not special. We're not special. We just have tools. And
okay, so you also give sessions like
together.
Both of you together.
Yes.
For couples.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Couples retreats and workshops and courses, and yeah.
How fun.
Yeah.
I'm like thinking of all of the possibilities. I can't help it. It's my favorite topic.
Me too. Me too.
And where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Positive Pringle. So positive energy, Pringle, like the potato chip. That's my real last name. And I have a new website coming I think it's going to be Devotion Method, but it'll be connected to Instagram. So
beautiful.
Find me, come join, come play.
And get juicy.
Yes.
We're going to add
very juicy, very juicy,
To
very
it.
wild, very wet.
And one last question to close the first part, because I feel that after reading the book, we're going to need more conversations. What is something that you wish more people knew about you?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's such an interesting question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is that I love to be silly, and I love to be goofy. And I think outward facing is like a lion leopard, and inward facing there's like a lot of like sloth golden retriever happening. So play is a massive part, goofiness, silliness. Yeah. It's one of my secrets to happiness.
One of the secrets to happiness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing all of your
Such a
tools and
joy.
magic with us today.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Thank
you
you.
for having me.
Thank you so much for watching this episode. Now go there, hit the button of follow and subscribe. Send this episode to a friend, to all of the people that you know. And thank you so much for being part of this mission. Thank you for allowing us and bringing us to more homes, to more spaces, to inspire more people to heal themselves. See you in the next episode.